Welcome, my friends, to the longest running daily variety show. This is the show that never ends. 1,877 days, 78 days. How many days in a row has it been, guys? Someone do a Siri, how many days in a row has it been since December 31st, 2018? Because that's how many days in a row we've been live. Welcome. This is the happy place, the place we get together daily twice in order to connect. So no matter where you are in the world, there's a live show every day of the year of positivity, of comedy, music. I invented the only drum in the world for guitar players that is the sponsor of the show. It's called the BeatSeat. The BeatSeat is the only drum in the world for guitar players. You can sit on this thing. It's the full body drum. You play with your hands, your feet at the same time while you sit completely upright. Unlimited tones. It allows you to do things that you can only see if you watch me live every night. If you're somebody who has a child with sensory therapy or needs sensory therapy, they have autism. If you know somebody who has a child with Down syndrome, the BeatSeat is a powerful sensory therapy drum. So you could basically get all these different vibrational effects out of it, and it's a connection that the world didn't have until it was created. So check it out at beatseat.rocks. What we do here in the mornings is we scroll the news. We're gonna see what's going on in the world, and we make some comedy out of it. Look, at the end of the day, the news in general is all negative. It's all there creating fear and distraction. So what we do is get into these stories and we just find the comedy in there. Some of these stories are really freaking dark and deep, and we make comedy out of it. So I'm digging it. I hope you enjoy it too. Head over to the channel on YouTube so you can watch the scroll. I have a little bit of a new setup here today on YouTube. We're gonna try this one. There she is, Renee Woods, good to see you. A little bit of a new setup here today. We're gonna give this one a shot and see how it looks. See if you guys enjoy this one better than the typical news story we do. So let me know if you are okay with this new layout. It goes a little something like this. Let's see. We're gonna head over to Yahoo News, the one that brings us the most comedy for sure. Let's see what we got here. There we go. So this is the new idea. And again, it may be too small for you guys, and then you're saying, no, go back to the other way because we could see more on the screen. Harvey, how are you? Good to see you. Joanna Maynard. Joanna, I intended to respond to your message. You made me laugh out loud last night with your comment. 2024, you know, you can go and you can get your happiness at anywhere. Sometimes it's at a dispensary. But for me, my joy and my happiness comes from coming here with you guys and creating some comedy or doing something in the moment. That's actually the thrill of it, though I have to say. No script for 5 years in a row every day, that is the high. You know, is when you come out here without a script and you have that energy of what the f are you gonna do, dude? So it's pretty cool because life can get really out of control, but every once in a while you can take control of the moment and make something happen. You're forced to. Like this, Matt Zabrowski did it with a woo-hoo. You're about to hear it. Zabrowski! Woo-hoo! It's a good one. Zabrowski! 9.2. What? Zabrowski? Who do you think you got more than a 9.2 on that one? It was good. It just wasn't that good. You know, guys like Grammy, no. You gotta bring it. You gotta bring it if you want a 10.0, Zabrowski. So let's get into the news today. Let's see what is happening. Anything funny? We're not doing anything political. You guys know that. That's over. Ever wonder what it's like to live on Mars? 4 people will find out? What are we talking about? Oh goodness, it sounds like everything else. NASA looking for 4 people to live in a Mars simulator. You gonna simulate Mars like you simulated going to the moon? What? You guys know, right? Look at the footage. It's laughable, really. Like you could have created better CGI. They didn't have CGI back then, but better props for your little rinky-dink Kubrick film. You know, it was a good film. Kubrick did a good job. That's all I can say. He did a good job. He fooled you guys. You know, right, Joanna? You all got fooled with the Kubrick. Oh goodness. You know, sometimes Kubrick does it. You know, he does it. So let's see. Ever wonder what it's like to live on Mars? Never even thought about that one. You know, how about you? Have you like ever been at home like,
You know, I wonder what it'd be like if I wasn't on this amazing planet here with the beautiful suns and sunset and the mornings and you hear the birds. I wish I was on Mars.
What's your name? My name is Elon Musk. I want to go to Mars. That's the only guy who's thinking about going to Mars is Elon Musk. You guys know it. The American people know it. Anyway, now you can try out life on a red planet in a simulation run by NASA. NASA's doing a simulation? Hey guys! Guys, I got a new one. Just bear with me for a second. Instead of pretending we're there and doing like the whole, hey guys, look at us, we're on Mars. Let's tell them this time what we're doing. Like, guys, we're giving you a simulation of Mars, you know? And then like, we're kind of, you know, red pilling them in a way. Cause they're just like, yeah, cool, like we can do it, let's go to Mars. Then when we hit them with the next one where we're like, guys, look, there's 4 of us actually on Mars, they're gonna believe it. What's that? Yeah, I know, they're idiots, right? That's what they're planning for, is us being idiots. Simulation. Let's see, we have this guy over here.
Of 60 minutes.
Mars, little helicopter on Mars, right? All right, we're not gonna watch it. Anyway, let's see what else we have here. Okay, so the space agency is looking for participants to live on a fake Mars for a full year to help them prepare for human exploration of the planet. Once they figure out the Van Allen belts, guys, and how they're gonna get humans through all the radiation and the heat that is generated within the radiation belts of Van Allen. No, they're gonna go to Mars. So let's see what happens here. This is the second of 3 missions, which will have 4 volunteers living in a 1,700 square foot Mars simulation. The mission's called Chapia, for crew, health, and performance exploration analog, take place in a 3D printed Mars habitat at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. The simulation, called the Mars Dune Alpha, simulates a future Mars habitat with separate areas for living and working. It includes 4 living quarters for each volunteer, a workspace, a medical station, lounge areas, and a galley, food growing stations. You know, they're doing a Matt Damon. He's got a science out of it, you know? If you didn't see the film, yeah, it was a pretty good film. That's the only time people thought about going to Mars, and then they were like, I'm never going to Mars. Did you see what Matt Damon had to go through in order to, like, grow plants? He had the science out of it. Just like life on actual Mars, there will be limited resources. Volunteers in the simulation will go on simulated spacewalks on Mars. You're spacewalking it on Mars? Like what it... So let me get this straight. Guys, you're going to Mars, and then we're going to put you in the International Space Station on Mars. So you're doing spacewalks from Mars. Why didn't you just figure out how to do it here, really, instead of pretending with green screen? Volunteers in simulation will go on to simulate. We got that part. They will experience typical environmental stressors of the planet, as well as equipment failures and delays in communications. The ground, imagine the equipment failures. Guys, I can't breathe. What the fuck is going on? God, the air intake valve stimulator is down. Does anybody know how to fix that? Harvey's he's dropping a deuce right now. Harvey's the only guy who knows how to fix the stimulator. And we have no air. We're dying. Simulated death on the Mars, mission. That's one of them. They want to see how the body reacts to no oxygen, and just the quick or potentially slow death. We don't really know yet. This is part of the whole process of doing, the clinical trials. Don't worry, guys. They'll be okay. Maybe. We're not really sure. That's the whole point. We got to go and find out if they're going to be okay, The ground mission will take place in the spring of 2025, and all of you that are interested, you've got until April 2nd to apply, so I know you can't wait. You're all leaving my feed right now. You're like, you know what, Mark? Thanks for the information. I'm going to get into the Mars mission. I can't wait for them to, just cut off the oxygen because of the stimulator. Rod, or whatever the hell the dude's name is dropping the dooch. We're all dropping dead while he's dropping a dooch. I mean, You couldn't send a guy who could keep it in, and just say, you know what, I'll drop one later just in case we have a stimulator issue. Oh, goodness. This is the issue. This is the problem when you're dealing with human error. So, look, if you want to, just in order to qualify, you must be motivated. You have to be a U.S. citizen, not somebody who just decided to come across and just be like, you know what, it's wide open. I'm going to come over and they're giving me a stipend, putting me up at like the way, what's it called again? It's a really, really nice posh hotel in New York City. They're putting me up there. Plus $2,200 a month. I'm going. And then I'm also going to do the Mars thing because I don't need to. Oh, no, you do need to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident between the ages of 30 and 55. So, guys, I qualify. I'm considering it. Hold on, I'm not. Let me just make a quick call and find out if I'm available. Hi, yeah, sweetie. Listen, I'm here. I'm doing the show right now. Mars, what do you think about it? I was thinking about going for the second time. I was stuck on Mars the first time, and we made a movie about it, Yeah, I know it was goofy. Every movie I make is goofy. Look, that's the point of Stuck on Mars. I got stuck on a rocket, a SpaceX rocket that while I was doing a news report, all of a sudden I'm on Mars for an hour and 8 minutes. Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel. I know, yeah. Stuck on Mars, guys. Stuck on Mars. Go watch it. Elon Musk has a cameo at the end when he saves me, sends another SpaceX rocket for me. Anyway, but what do you think about if I go again, but this time it's like a simulation vibe instead of doing a green screen movie, No, oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, no, all right, love you, bye. I got 3 kids. Yeah, I can't. I forgot, 3 kids. When you got 3 kids, you can't do the Mars mission. The simulation mission. Because no one's ever going to Mars, guys. You got to get the Van Allen belts figured out.
We're going to send them through with aluminum foil crafts.
You ever see the Apollo mission? We should pull up photos. Guys, are we doing photos from the Apollo mission? Oh, goodness. You have to wonder. You have to start wondering if they're going to send the aluminum foil through again. You must be English and a non-smoker. They don't want any smoke in there. No vaping either. You guys, all you vapors out there are like,
you know what, maybe I'll just bring extra vapes. I'll vape it out.
You can't vape it out on the NASA Mars mission. Simulation, sorry. Not a real, no, they're never going to Mars. Oh, well, I want to go on the real mission to Mars. All right, buddy. You got like a cryogenic freezing deal going? Because that ain't happening for centuries. All of a sudden the year 2743, about 20 years before Back to the Future, Mark, which is another one of my feature films. They're like, we figured out the Van Allen belts. They send through, you got to see this rocket that they send through. The walls are 743 feet wide. The space for the person, because you can only send one person through, is like, you got the guy in there like this, and the rest of it is a shell of steel and titanium. It's like a mile wide together in order to get through the Van Allen belt. But we did it, 2743. We got to Mars. That guy died, like when he got through the belts, he was safe, but just like this, being completely like stuck in there, no way to slide out. Because the only way out at the end is they crack the thing open and do one of these, and then you just like pull the guy out. But when they did, he was dead, Just couldn't breathe in there, suffocated, But we got through the belts. We did the research, checked out the science, the data. He was still breathing after the Van Allen belt, So they just made the bigger rocket, the one that was like a mile and a quarter wide. But then the capsule inside for the person was twice as wide. So that guy made it through. That was a good time, We lost a lot of people in the process, though. I don't know if you guys knew that one. That wasn't good. But when you're reaching for the stars, people have to sacrifice their lives, Applicants must also have experience working in STEM with a master's in engineering. Freaking A, guys. It would have been nice to know all of this stuff about having a master's in engineering before we did all of the other stuff, all the other comedy, because there's not many people out there that can now apply for this job. I thought it was a wider base. I thought like you could just be a guy who's like, hey, I just finished high school. I don't really give it anymore. I'm just going to do a NASA Mars stimulation. So you have to be a master at engineering, math, biology, or other sciences, and professional experience, at least 2 years of doctoral work in those areas. What the frick are you paying? Let's get to brass tacks here. Volunteers can be compensated for the mission? Can be? What the f are you talking about, can be? You're sending someone onto a Mars environment for a year?
And they can be compensated.
How about we're gonna give you hazard pay? You might not make it out of there. You know, Mars environment. We're pulling the air module again with the stimulator. Remember that. And then the guy's in the dumper. He's poop-a-dooping it. And you're just trying to figure out how you can get some air. You know, the one engineer you sent, the one guy who can break down the code and get the air running again on our Mars simulator. And you just decide, you know, to give him the runs at that time? So you're like, I got an idea, guys. Let's give the only engineer on the craft the crap food. So he spends the rest of his day in the bathroom. He's double-deckering it. Everybody else in the ship, they're just losing air, you know? That's the challenge of the day. How many die? How many of them are able to conserve their air and do a Wim Hof? You hold your breath. How long could you hold your breath? I can hold my breath for 2 minutes and 29 seconds. I've done it before. That's not even a joke. I did that. You guys want to hear this? This is the craziest story ever. So I'm in Florida at a pool. God rest my mother-in-law's soul. We just lost her 2 weeks ago. We used to go to visit them all the time in Florida. And so when we're there, I see this guy. Now, every year I see this guy in the pool. He's in the pool with weights on his shoulders. And he's at the bottom of the pool. Simi, thank you so much for the love. Please head to the YouTube channel. I think you can hit the link in the bio and join these amazing people like King Kong and Harvey and Helen and have some laughs with us. So I'm in the pool with this guy year after year, and I see him. He's got these weights on his shoulders. And he goes down, and he's like taking like forever. He's underwater. Like my kids and I are like, this guy's, is he okay? He stayed there for like 3, 4, 5 minutes without coming up for air. And I'm like, what in the world? And I noticed this one thing he did right before he'd go down. He'd go, and he'd go down. And that's all he did. It's like 5 in and outs with his nose to his chest, and 5 times, and he would go down. And so, and I even just got a rush doing that. So he comes up one time, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, how are you holding your breath? How are you staying underwater for that long? And so he told me that he's been practicing this for years, and that it's something he does for his health, and he meditates. And I said, how do you do it? He goes, you have to find a way to take your mind off the fact that you're underwater and that you're holding your breath. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, for me, I listen to music. So he had music in his ears, like some waterproof headphones or whatever. And so I'm thinking to myself, as a songwriter, I should be able to, while I'm doing this, sing one of my songs in my head while I'm underwater, and therefore take my mind off of what I'm doing and hear the music. And so I did the breathing thing 4 or 5 times, and I had my kids sit there and watch the clock when I started. And I started a song of mine called What a Day. And as I'm singing this song in my head, I realized I'm like into the second verse of it. And I held my breath as long as I possibly could. I'm like finally letting all the air out. And as I came up, my son goes 2 minutes, 29 seconds. And I could not believe I held my breath for that long. So I did it a few times, like 2 minutes 14, but 2:29 was like, what the? And I never ever did that in my life. So the reality is our mind is insane. Our mind can do so much if we could direct it. And sometimes when we're in a state of fear, which is what you're doing when you're holding your breath, there's a bit of fear going on in your mind, like, how long can I do this? I don't want to drown. But when you are in a different state of mind, and I was in this musical state of mind while I was underwater, and I did that breathing thing, which allowed me to really fill up all of my lungs, I made it to 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Yes. So he said, that's the key, taking your mind off of what you're doing, especially when in a hectic situation. So true. And you know what? That's actually a really good staple for life. If you could figure out how to always go to that mindset when things get tough. Okay, let me step back for a second. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say you can actually retrain your mind to stay away from fear if you realize whenever you're about to embark on it, what's happening, and you step back and you take a breath. You listen to that song, whatever it is, in order for you to get level. There's so much truth to that. To me, this is what this show is in a way, is I come here after whatever's going on in the world and I could just be me for a little while. I got Elgato. I could be me for a little while, laugh a little bit, see what kind of jokes come out, play some music. But more importantly, it's that peace within all the hectic. And it's that holding your breath for 2 minutes and 29 seconds. You know, it's very possible. And you wouldn't think it's possible. I can tell you, I think the longest I held my breath before that was about 35 seconds. I'm pretty sure I counted, because that was the other thing I did prior. I'd be like, 1, 2, I'm holding my breath, I'm holding my ears, because you hold your nose in your ears, because that's the way you can make sure you don't get anything, whatever. And so I'm doing this, I'm like holding my ears, I'm holding 35 seconds, maybe 37 seconds. I can't believe still to this day, 2 minutes and 29 seconds. And my son was like, whoa. And I was like, man, I guess we could all do this. Now, I didn't do 5 minutes. This guy was under for 5 minutes. But again, he's been doing it for years. Something really interesting about that. I remember David Blaine did that as well, as an endurance challenge to see how long he could hold his breath underwater. It's possible, guys. We have this ability. It's within our mind, really. And it's actually a break free from the mind in order to accomplish these things. If you are within your mind, that is when you can't accomplish things. You have to somehow break out of your mind, break free of all the constraints, break free of every law that you know is within your mind, and be in a different place. Some people say that's where the Akashic records are. It's just basically this place of nothingness and everything at once. All information is there. Now, it's not a place you go and you're just opening up a file and there's the information. It's a place you go in your mind and you get the information without having to search. The query is within you and the answer just appears. It's what I've done for 5 years in a row every day. I show up in this space of nothingness and I find something. It's cool. I gotta tell you, it's one of my favorite things ever, is that, you know, regardless of who finds this feed, I'm able to go to that place every single day. And that's why we call it the happy place when I play this song for you. I don't know why you don't hear it. Fortunately, I got my microphone on, so I can't play it loud enough for people on TikTok to hear. The Happy Place, it's a fire song. I'm going to be dropping that. So let's get back to the news. I did want to just share that holding your breath story. I thought it was pretty cool. So guys, if you're an engineer and you want to go to Mars, you could do it. All right, just sign up. You got till April 2nd. Let's see what else we have here. Increase of risk of skin infections. Here's how often you should be washing your sheets this winter season. I'm just going to say like pretty often, okay? Don't go like a month without cleaning your sheets. It'd be like a week, okay? Every week you should be doing your sheets. Maybe 2 weeks. Depends on how freaking nasty you are. I'm just saying.
I went to the gym.
And I didn't shower afterwards. Wash them freaking sheets tomorrow. You may have bed rot if you didn't see my story on the Herkel Durkel. Some people get bed rot, you know, like mold growing under their hiney butt. And you got to just feel for those people and send them over some, you know, some detergent, some Tide Pods. The Tide Pod Challenge. They're going to decide whether or not they want to do the Tide Pod Challenge or wash their freaking stinky sheets. You know, that's on them. Once you give them the Tide Pod, that's on them how they use it. You don't want to clean your bed rot? You just went to the gym last night. You sweat through it. You know, you were putting it in. You put in the time. You walked out. You looked like you just went for a swim. They were like, do you need a towel? Like, no, I'm good. I'll air dry. You did an air dry. You get home and you're like, I think I'm too tired from that workout. I'm just going right to bed. I'm laying it on them sheets, you know? I haven't washed them in 6 years. I'm going to lay on them again tonight. You get in that bed. You wake up in the morning, the bed's gone. Disintegrated in the middle of the night because of the stench. It was like the stench. The bed ran from your body odor, you know? But you were so tired. You didn't want to take the shower. Wash them sheets. Okay, that's when you do it. Just side note, okay? So here we go. Another one of some disgusting people. You can wear your jeans 10 times before they need to be washed. And more surprising facts about doing your laundry. I want to see who the hell came up with this 10 times freaking number. You could put disgustingness. You could walk through, the daily. You go through like a kebab store 9 more times after you take off those pants. Who cares about the kebab store? Who cares if you smell like cumin? When you show in, saffron, you're walking up, people are like, what the hell is that stench? Guys, this is time number 2, all right? I'm sorry, I don't wash my jeans but more than once every 10 wears. So if I happen to go to the Chinese restaurant to get my Kung Pao chicken tonight in these jeans, I'm wearing them tomorrow, when I show up to the office. What's that smell? George, he had Chinese again. It's day 4 of those jeans, right? Oh, goodness, George. Some of us call George a pig, just because he's doing it again. He did the Chinese food, and then he showed up with the jeans the following day. I kind of understand that, George, come on. Just because you did Chinese, just because it's day 4, maybe with the Chinese additive, you got soy sauce all over it too, like you spilled. I wonder if it says anything, well, if you spill on it, you should wash them sooner. Or if it's just like, just go with it. Doesn't matter if you got crap all over your jeans. Just keep going until day 10. You don't want to waste that detergent, the Tide Pod we send you. If you reflexively throw your clothes in the hamper after every wear, it may be time to rethink your laundry habits. Kung Pao chicken. There are no hard and fast rules when it comes to how often to wash or rewear an article of clothing. It's really a personal choice, if you don't mind the stench. Kebab store. Carolyn Forte, Executive Director of the Good Housekeeping Institute's Home Care and Cleaning Lab. This is what she had to say about it. But I suspect most people probably wash or even dry clean their clothing more often than needed, she told HuffPost. That rag? Really? We're doing a HuffPost? Gosh almighty. I forgot this is YouTube. We're going to get a lot of HuffPost crap here. Sometimes when you're doing it, they HuffPost you. Not only can laundering your clothes too frequently decrease the longevity of the garment, your jeans start getting kind of loose around the jean, It also has significant impact on the environment. Oh my freaking, you really bleeding heart liberal?
I don't want you to use the washer.
I'm washing my clothes. I had Kung Pao last night. The average American household does about 300 loads of laundry a year. That's pretty much, almost every day. A single load could use, oh, here we go. A single load could use, and you got on your jet to tell us this. This Caroline, what is her freaking name again? Caroline Forte jumps off her private jet. Carbon, she's doing it. And then she shows up to tell us about 300 loads a year.
You should only do 200 loads a year.
Walk around with smelly stuff. How dare you clean your clothing? I got a jet to take to Monaco. There's a tournament tonight for Baccarat. You're playing Baccarat? We're here just trying to get through the day with clothes that don't smell like Kung Pao chicken. It was good Kung Pao though. It's not like it was crap Kung Pao, like you had a good one, but you just decided that it was day 2. Let's see what else we got here, guys. Let's hear from jet setter over here, Carolyn Forte. The average American household, hold on, sorry, I just have to tip my pilot. Here you go, buddy. Yeah, that's all you get. What do you expect? Yeah. She's very, very, tight with her money as well. The average American household does 300 loads of laundry a year. A single load could be anywhere from 7 to 25 gallons of water. You scumbag using 25 gallons of water. How dare you? Depending on the machine, older ones, they use even more, which is why they're creating the new ones where it doesn't get clean at all. And there's no water usage anymore. They just wring it out on like a stone inside the washing machine. They sprinkle it with a little water. That's what they call dry. This is a new dry cleaning. There's no water anymore. You dry clean it at home in your washer. Washing your clothes in hot water increases energy usage, guys. I'm sorry? Yeah, no, just book the return flight. No, I want the jet stream. You're gonna get me on a commercial? No, I'm sorry, I don't do commercial, even if it's first class. No. Private jet, hold on, sorry. Guys, your energy usage, it's too much. Instead of using a dryer, I'm just gonna throw this one out there. Air dry it. I'm sorry? Yeah, I guess I could, attach it to the jet while we're flying, all my garments, and my sheets. Because last night, you remember the gym. And then when I'm flying in the jet, I air dry it. I could, but I'm not gonna do that. I got an extra commercial double-decker version of a washer-dryer deal at my house. But guys, I'm the spokesperson. I have to tell you, but I live at a different level. When you have money, you just don't. And so you have to, and also tighten up the belt. Tighten up the belt. I can't believe you guys, What's that? No, they don't have that jet. What jet do they have? All right, just book it, You see, this is what we're dealing with here. Okay, guys, it's a big energy guzzler when you're doing the washer dryer deal. So just try to air dry it. You should attach it to your car while you drive. You should just get clothespins. Attach all your favorite clothes to your car and just take a spin around the block, You come back, it's like coming to America. You see people wearing your clothing. That's my vest. Wait, how's that guy have that jacket? You should have put stronger clothespins on. Guys, oh my goodness. What is Restream doing? I think you guys are on the wrong channel. Yeah, I think Restream broadcasts all the channels. It's basically how I start the feed. It goes out to all channels, except TikTok. We're live. TikTok can't see these news stories. They're just seeing Joanne with her Wheezy McGee body back there, and she's wheezing it out. Joanne! Joanne, could you please? Oh my God. Wheezing and farting. Welcome to the Mark Inspires show, where Joanne destroys every program. So, guys, what are you thinking about this? Are you going to be wearing your jeans till day 10? I'm getting back into this one. This is a good news story. Every day there's been so many stories worth cutting. This is one of them for sure. Oof. Okay, so remember good old Carolyn Forte with her sage knowledge about you not doing anything while she jumps back on her jet, At the same time, it's important not to wait too long between washes. Oh, now they tell you after you waited till day 12. You're like, I'm just going to push it. Sweat, oils, dead skin cells, and microorganisms like bacteria or fungi can be transferred over to clothing, dermatologist Joshua Zeichner said. Guys, he's an associate professor of dermatology at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City, so I think he knows, and you don't. So listen to him. You were going to wait till day 12, day 13 maybe. He's telling you about the microorganisms, the bacteria, the fungi. He's not a fun guy. It's not a good one. It's a bad guy. As the soiled garment sits, it gives microorganisms time to grow and multiply. These microorganisms can grow on the garment and be transferred back to the body if you wear it again. So day 11, you're coming back with the jeans again. You got Kung Pao. You got that day you did the kebab place. You even went to the Waffle House, spilled waffle, syrup all over your legs. Day 5 in it. You came back the next day. You had stiff pants because of the waffle syrup. But you just rolled with it. This is. Again, you got to listen to Dr. Zeichner. You got to listen to Zeichner on this one. He's a New York City Sinai Hospital doctor. He knows. As the soil sits, these microorganisms can grow on the garment. We already said this part. One example, rewearing sweaty socks can cause athlete's foot. Did you guys know that? That's one that they don't recommend, is wearing the socks for a second time. That one, you're a one-timer. You're Wayne Gretzkying it. You got the one-timer, you score, you put the socks into the hamper, you wash them socks so your feet don't start stinking. You're destroying shoes with them feet, okay? You started with one pair of socks. You're like, you know what? They're disgusting. But I gotta go, I'm in a rush. You pop them back on. The grimy disgustingness. You pop the socks back on. After 5 minutes, you don't even realize it anymore. You forgot. I'm making a coffee, right? Later on that day, you take your socks off. Your feet are black. You got gangrene. Guys, Zeichner. Also, Dr. Arnand Gargageri. Guys, if you want to see these news stories, head to YouTube. The link is in my bio. We are live right there, right now, and you can watch these news stories on the corner of the screen as I scroll, read along with me, and we make comedy out of it. That's the whole point. News is negative, not on my show. News is filled with hilarity and filled with just optimism, and whenever I'm reading stuff that's really dire, somehow I'm finding comedy in it. I'm enjoying the hell out of this. I don't know about you guys, but let's get back into it. Here we go. So the dermatologist Arnand Geria, he's with Geria Dermatology. He's got his own firm in Verona, New Jersey. And what? Yeah, no, they call it the armpit of America, but that doesn't mean anything because he's a dermatologist. He can help those people who have the stench. He said not washing your clothes often can lead to folliculitis, and acne flare-ups. You guys don't want either of those. You don't want folliculitis. You don't want acne flare-ups. You're walking around, 74-year-old, you got acne flare-ups. Dolores, what the freaking hell happened to you? I don't know. I wore my sweater 16 times in a row without showering. Myself or the sweater, you know? That's on Dolores. Dirty clothes. We did this part about the dirty clothes, HuffPost. No, I guess this is a little bit different. Dirty clothes can trap oils, dead skin cells, and other debris against the skin. Then you're doing like a, you know, like you're there and you need to scrape a little off. You got the scalpel out, you know, you get the sandpaper. The bacteria and sweat accumulating on the unwashed clothes can also cause a foul odor. Kung Pao chicken. That one's okay though. Some articles of clothing don't need to be laundered as often. We talked to experts to find out which items. So this is where we really get into the dirt of it, guys. What to wash after every wear. This is a good start. What stuff do you want to make sure? Socks? I'm going with socks. What do you guys think? What garment do you think we're definitely not going to want to wear that a second time? I'm thinking it's socks. I'm also thinking it's your hiney butt underwear. If you wear undies a second day in a row, I got to question your interest in staying, you know, clean, or if you're looking for something disgusting to start growing on your head. Yeah, I'm just asking. One rule of thumb from Zeichner, generally speaking, the closer a garment is to your skin, the more often it should be washed. He said intimates that are exposed to heavy sweat or potential body soils should be washed daily. Again, that's where you put your dong. That's where your hiney butt is. You know, you're going to want to wash that one. But when you're there and you got the jeans, which are above, you know, that you could do. You can keep going. Let's see what else. Underwear, socks, undershirts, workout clothes. That was Forte came out with that one. She jumped off the jet to give us the information again. But if you didn't break a sweat in your activewear, you could probably get away with re-wearing it. Disgusting. That's still disgusting. I'm sorry. Like, you're out there, you're doing it. You didn't break a sweat? Yeah, you did. You may not have realized it, but you put an effervescence out into that shirt. The next day you're walking out, there's that stench. That's the 2-day stench.
Hey, I'm feeling air fresh.
You're what? We are feeling a different thing in the room with you. That ain't right. Plus, you know, didn't even talk about it. You didn't put deodorant on yesterday when you wore it and you did your activewear routine.
I didn't sweat.
Yeah, but you didn't put any deodorant on. So now that shirt where your armpits was, that is reeking day 2. That is a reeking. Anything else visibly dirty, stained, or has an odor can be thrown in the laundry. So I guess the Kung Pao chicken, you're probably going to want to throw those jeans in. Clothing that comes into contact with your skin but isn't sweaty or soiled can be worn a second time without washing, Zeichner said. Pants, sweaters, blouses, bras, pajamas can usually be worn a few times before washing, especially if they're worn for a short period of time without sweating or soil. Soil? You're soiling it? And you're like, you know what? I'll wear it again tomorrow. Who out there has soiled it? And then they're just like, you know what? I'm thinking I should get one more day out of that one, you know? Because why would I do, it's a soiling. It's not like it's like a completage. Like, we just got a soiled area, not the entirety of it. That's the worst. Like, who the freaking hell says if it's without any sweating or soil? Or are they saying like you were out there in the garden and you were working with soil? You know, you got soil on it now. And now there's a dirt, real dirt, not the dirty dog from the hiney butt. There's some real dirt from the earth. You got soil on it. And they're thinking that is something, you know, you should clean because you don't want soil on your clothes. Not really sure on that one. You guys leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of that one. If you're just hanging around the house and you work from home and don't perspire much, you probably wear your clothes 3 or 4 more times before washing. This is Dr. Annie Gonzalez. Everybody's got a different opinion, right? Zeichner's like, dude, don't wear it more than once, you know? And then you got this, whatever the heck her name was, Christine, what was her name? We had Zeichner, Carolyn Forte on her jet. She's jumping off the jet to tell you to stop using your washer and dryer, air dry it, and use the rock, you know, the old, out of the Bible, using a stone, you know, to clean your clothes. The best one is Annie Gonzalez is like, you can wear it like 3 or 4 times if you're in the house just kicking it. You know, jeans can also be worn a few times before washing, at least a few times. In fact, they'll last longer and generally look better when softened up with wear, Repentinchek said. And some experts say you can wait 10 wears or more between wears. You're doing a 13. You're pushing it, right? One caveat, if you're someone who doesn't wear underwear, you should wash your pants or leggings before them again due to direct contact with your genitalia. New York dermatologist Anthony Rossi previously told CSN. How many different people did they consult on this? Everybody's talking about different crap. You know, if your junk is sitting on your clothes, you're going to want to wash that after the first time. You know what I mean? You're not going to want to do it a second time. Anthony Rossi, he came out with it. What you can wash less frequently. Outer coats, jackets, items worn like bathrobes, sweaters. They can go longer without washes. Forte came through with that one. What's that? Oh, she didn't. She jumped on the plane. Same goes for dressier pieces like suits, evening gowns, to cocktail dresses, typically made of delicate fabrics, can require special care. It can be worn multiple times between cleanings. But if you're really worked up with a sweat, like dancing the night away at an outdoor party or a wedding, you may choose to hand wash with the stone or dry clean. You know, air dry. Don't do the dry clean. Air dry it, guys. Save the money. Save. You know, you don't have to go down to the local dry cleaner, and they're using starch now. You know, there's another thing with the starch. I'm sure there's something with the environment with the starch. Planning to rewear items a few times before tossing them in the laundry? Here are some expert-backed tips and tricks to keep in mind. How freaking long is this story? Seriously. Febreze. For yous, for me's, the Febreze. Guys, you can also use a garment steamer, they say, in order to get the stench out. I think that's enough. We got it. Oh, goodness. Let's see what else we have here. Russian spy chief says defector reportedly killed in Spain was moral corpse. I don't know what the hell that is. Look at it's like I want to stay away from politics, but every freaking story is about politics, right? Capital One to buy Discover. California storms trigger flood warnings. A climactic Daytona 500. Those are 3 stories in one. Should we do a triple decker? Why the heck not? Capital One Bank has agreed to acquire credit card issuer Discover Financial Services for $35.3 billion. It's $1 billion deal. No, I called them directly. I said, Dr. Evil, I'm going to take over the financial industry one company at a time. Dr. Evil, I'm Dr. Frickin' Evil. Dr. Evil, it's Donald J. Trump. I'm winning big league. I'm going to take you down when you're the CEO of Capital One. Right? Oh, goodness. Sometimes you're a celebrity impressionist that keeps it in the pocket, you know, and then you just randomly pull it out. Oh, goodness. Oh, Mark, there's confusion between the regular channel and TV. What do you want us to do? I think everybody should go on to the regular channel. That's where we should build the thing out. And then the backup channel's there when things go wrong and they take me off and I have a week where I'm live on the other channel. The backup channel should be for people who find the show and then they're like, oh, this is cool. And then they're like, oh, this is a backup channel. And maybe I should even name it the Mark Inspires TV backup channel, something like that. So it's less confusing for people. Mark Inspires TV, head to the main channel, something like that. And then I die on the move. Oh, goodness. Will's kicking it with us on the right channel. So, guys, Capital One Discovery is planning to buy, or they're selling to, to Discover Financial Services. Maybe they're calling the Capital One Discovery afterwards. Maybe they're doing an, infusion. Why they're merging? Because Dr. Evil, I want to take over the world, right? I mean, that's probably what it is. He's the CEO. You have Dr. Evil as the CEO. He now wants to take over and have Discovery Services as well. Dr. Evil, we have, I don't even know who to call. Who do I have on the line? Jamie Dimon on the Evil monitor. Oh, thank you, number 2. Put him on the line. Jamie, it's Dr. Evil. Right? Sometimes when you're doing it, and you learn about the espionage going on. Dr. Evil comes back. He tries to take over Capital One, take over Discovery. There's only one man who can stop the siege. That's right, Donald J. Trump. I'm winning big league. I'm going to take back the Oval from a sleep sofa who poops in the triple diaper. Sometimes when there's a triple diaper use going on, and it must smell disgusting in the Oval, it's just what you know. These are facts. We spoke to people on the ground there. Harvey, happy birthday! Oh goodness, happy birthday, Harvey. So happy to have you here. What's is it okay to ask how many? What birthday is this, my friend? I wish you the happiest of birthdays. Am I on the right channel now? Helen Gale, you're always on whatever channel Helen Gale's on, it's the right channel. Whatever channel you're all on is the right channel, as long as you're on the show. But yes, I think it's kind of cool if we all connect on one platform together. So Mark Inspires on YouTube at 9 a.m. and then again after 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm also doing a midday vertical now. So that's a vertical live I'll be doing from somewhere in Connecticut, just like outdoors or maybe hopefully interviewing some people on the streets. We'll see what happens with it. But I want to start doing something with the vertical lives, which goes out to the shorts feed as well. But if you do enjoy this show, I'm live every single day of the year. Not joking. Like my birthday, like Harvey. 43, happy birthday, my friend. Oh, awesome. I'm so happy to have you here. So it's on Harvey's birthday, on my birthday, on my wife's birthday, my kid's birthday, on Christmas, on Easter, I'm live. And I don't know if I do twice a day during those days, but no, I don't. But just once. We're definitely live every day of the year. So if you hit the subscribe button, make sure you turn on all notifications so you can make sure you're informed, because I'm pretty sure I'm creating more than a lot of people on the planet. Live 3 times a day and dropping at least a piece of content every day, a bunch of shorts, live on TikTok, tons of stuff on TikTok, Clapper. And you know what? It's just because I'm creating so much here, like even today, so much with the news, I got to go and cut all this stuff up and drop it in TikTok tomorrow or the next day. So it's like every day we have 5 or 6 funny news stories that take place. And I'm like, man, how do I cut that now? I really need an editor. I need somebody who's good at editing. It's like, dude, I like the show. I want to help. I'm going to take your news stories and cut them up for you so you can upload them. Like, oh, that would be sick. Like, I'll do these 3, you do those 2, you do that 1, whatever, even 1 would be great. It's something that I can actually be able to not take care of myself would be pretty sweet. But at the moment, anything you do see, I'm doing for you. And I'm also selling real estate, trying to make a living at selling real estate in the process. So I appreciate you guys. Keep me in mind when it comes to buying and selling real estate as well. No matter where it is in the United States, I can help you. And it costs nothing. It's actually just me making a phone call and connecting you with the best agent possible in the town that you live. And there's 0 fee for this. This is just part of the job. And whatever you were going to pay any agent, you're going to pay that same amount. So that's the important part. And I get to help you and work with you, which I think would be really cool. So let's get back to this story real quick. The deal, which likely has faced scrutiny over how it will affect consumers, could be approved by the regulators by end of 2025. This again is when Capital One plans to buy Discover. In case you missed it, the Daytona 500 pileup, William Byron won the Daytona 500 after a massive 22-car crash took place. It's pretty nuts. So, in general, guys, oh, did you see this? That 70s star actor Danny Masterson transferred out of maximum security prison. Danny Masterson is on the move again. The 70s show star 47 has been transferred out of Corcoran State Prison in Central California, a maximum security prison that once held cult leader Charles Manson. I'm wondering if Andrew Keeney is going to be there, soon. If you guys haven't seen my Join My Cult bit, just from the other day, this guy started a cult. He's like an actor and started a cult. So I did a really funny news story on that we just dropped, I think, 2 days ago. Masterson moved to California's Men's Colony, a male-only prison located in San Luis Obispo, California. A rep for the CDCR confirmed to USA Today Monday that Masterson was transferred to the new facility on February 16th. The CDCR added that by law, they cannot disclose information about reasons for transfers or detailed housing information. Look at that. Yeesh. He's doing it. Why the freaking heck with Elgato? That's the double-decker from Elgato. Danny Masterson, he's doing it. January records show Masterson was transferred to Corcoran, and the move also in January state denied Masterson bail pending his appeal. If defendants' conviction and sentence are upheld on appeal, he will likely remain in custody for decades or perhaps the rest of his life, Superior Court Judge Charlene Almedo wrote. In light of, and this is also what she wrote, in light of the fact that the defendant has no wife to go home to, defendant now has every incentive to flee and little reason to return to state prison to serve out the remainder of his lengthy sentence, should his appeal be unsuccessful. So that's why he's going to be sitting in jail until there's an appeal. I don't know. I didn't follow this story because honestly, I think it's I don't even know. I've heard so much about it. He left the church and then all of a sudden they went after him and he didn't even get to have witnesses. The people that made these claims didn't even say anything in court. I don't know if that's true or not, but a lot of stuff seems to have taken place. The justice system seems pretty messed up these days. He's got a green light in his head, I would imagine, yeah. Is he a creeper? See, I didn't even know much about the story. I just know that there were some certain things that, here's the thing. These people get into power and they use that power for nefarious reasons. And when you take advantage of somebody for some perceived power, there's retribution, and it may come in the form of judgment years later or at the end of your life, but it's coming. And he got his in this life. And his wife left him too, I think, right? Bijou Phillips, it said. So basically, yeah, referring to the recent split from estranged wife and actress Bijou Phillips, who filed for divorce about a week after his September 7th sentencing. Masterson was convicted last year of 2 women. He was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. And in December, authorities confirmed the actor had been admitted to North Kern State Prison in California. Almedo previously told Masterson during his sentencing that he's not the victim here. Your actions 20 years ago took away another person's voice and choice. One way or another, you'll have to come to terms with your prior actions and their consequences. Prison records show Masterson will be eligible for parole in July 2042. The 47-year-old will then be 66 years old. Wow. A dead satellite weighing 5,000 pounds is set to fall to Earth this week. Is that because it's out of helium? Must be. Depleting its fuel from the helium balloon. Oh, goodness. You guys know that's how they're held up, right? They're held up with helium balloons. Oh, goodness. A 5,000-pound satellite is expected to fall to Earth this week. European Space Agency satellite is expected to re-enter and largely burn up. The part with the balloon will burn up. The agency's Space Debris Office, along with International Surveillance Network, monitored is tracking the Earth-observing satellite, which is predicted to make it re-entry at 3:53 on Wednesday, with a 7.5-hour window of uncertainty. The spacecraft's re-entry is natural without possibility to perform maneuvers. It is impossible to know where and when it will re-enter the atmosphere and begin to burn up. Re-entry remains unclear due to the unpredictability of solar activity, which can change the density of the Earth's atmosphere and how the atmosphere tugs on the satellite. As the sun nears its 11-year cycle's peak, known as solar maximum, solar activity has been ramping up. Solar maximum is expected to occur later this year. The sun's increased activity already had an impact on speeding up the re-entry of the ESA's Aeolus satellite in 2023. ERS-2 satellite has an estimated mass of 5,057 pounds after depleting its fuel, making it similar to the size of other space debris that re-enters Earth's atmosphere every week or so. Every week or so we have stuff re-entering the atmosphere. I guess all those balloons, they start just kind of dissipating. At around 50 miles above Earth's surface, the satellite is expected to break apart, and the majority of the fragments will burn up in the atmosphere. The agency said the same fragments could reach the planet's surface. You know, I'm trying to figure out something here. Remember when they had that weather balloon? That was just essentially a big helium balloon, right? That just was like hanging out in the sky. And then this is just what, more helium balloon? Like, I think you have to shoot it into the sky. You can't just put a balloon and let it go up and then it's going to go into the, you know, what is that even anyway? It's not, what do they call it, stratosphere or something? I'm not even sure where the satellites go. But it seems to me like the rockets take them up and then they just like let them out there with the helium balloons or something. Who has the answer to that one? So bottom line, guys, there's another spacecraft / satellite that's going to burn on re-entry. All right, that's it. Let's see what else we have here. I think that's basically it for the day for news stories. You know, we did it. Sometimes when you're in the process, it's starting to get hot in here too, by the way. Joanne with the wheezy body. All right, so hopefully you guys got a couple of laughs out of the news today. Yeah, wages has been keeping everybody in the loop as far as what's going on with the sun. I do enjoy getting any information that comes through. Whenever I can, I'll share it with you guys. But wages is my go-to for all information on the sun. Yeah, the satellite thing is interesting. I'm curious what's really going on with a lot of things in this world. But I would say we had a lot of fun today. Hilly Billy, my friend. I'm looking forward to doing it again with you guys. Remember, I'll be back for a vertical live midday, and that should be a lot of fun. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but we'll figure it out. And if you guys have any topics you want to see for these midday verticals, shoot them over. Leave a comment if you can after the feed, and let me know what your favorite news story of the day was. I'm not sure what mine was. We had a lot of fun today. So if you can, share the feed, and remember, we'll be back a couple times today. Until then, let me say goodbye to you. If you're here, don't lurk now. Don't lurkaroo. Here we go. Can I get a refresh? I'm already working on yesterday's news, so if you guys like this, check out yesterday's. It was hilarious. Helen, Gail, Hilly Billy, King Kong, Right Main Girl, Nightwind, my friend, Pamela Swan, Trish, Killian, and Will. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here with me. Looking forward to doing this again later on. Until then, make sure you're good to each other. And I promise, or I should, have something out this afternoon besides the vertical live. So make sure that notifications hit. I love you guys. See you later. You got to go away. Harvey, happy birthday. Hope you have the best birthday, my friend. Come back 2 more lives for me today, my friend. I will be back. I'm wishing you the happiest of birthdays. You guys are awesome. Have the awesome rest of your morning, into your day. I will be back. Love you.